Hey guys, Ryan here. So this is the interview that I was supposed to do put out for February, and you can tell it's March, so it's a little bit late, but that's okay because in waiting, we got the full band involved in it, and I think we got a better interview out of it. But don't worry, I mean I have another one for March. We got that in the works, so that'll be coming out last day of March because I'm doing these on the last day of the month. So yeah, so please watch and enjoy and support all your locals. There we go. Okay, hey guys, this is Ryan, Midwest Metal Promotions, back again. And this time around, we have the lovely gentleman of Volcano Diving Inc. How are we this afternoon?
I'm doing good, Ryan.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, so first, let's go down the line. Who are you and what do you do in the band?
I suppose we'll start with the other guys first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Ian. I do the bass. I'm Matt. I do rhythm guitar.
Oh, my next.
Yeah.
I do the lead guitar.
And I'm Brad. I do the vocals.
And then your drummer may or may not join at some point, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, so why don't we start here? Why don't we go down the line again? And who were your influences? What did you see or hear that made you want to grab the instrument and get into this crazy world of show? Oh, there's Eric.
Hi, Eric. Wherever he is.
Gang's over here.
Gang should be all here.
Bunch of wind noise from Brad.
Oh, nice and breezy out here. Holy shit.
Okay, so now that we have everybody, let's include Eric on this question. Basically, as you were coming up, what did you see or hear that made you want to grab the instrument and get into this show business thing? Whoever wants to start.
For me, it was like early Metallica type stuff, like the early 80s thrash type stuff. Really kind of. I was already playing guitar at the time, but it kind of changed the way I thought about it. From there, I think probably for me, they're not around anymore. There was a band called Reveille. I stumbled upon them by accident, but I picked up their first CD and just I'm playing guitar. I want to play bass.
Listened to a lot of System of a Down and Children of Bodom. I think I really liked Alexi Lyle's guitar style, and I've got an Alexi 600 at home that I use every so often. And just that kind of style of guitar really intrigued me.
Nice. Brad, Eric?
Eric, you go. I got stage fright.
Well, just playing in rock bands and stuff, it started pretty early. Just like I actually started playing bass, but what made me want to start drumming was going to my first concert, which was Godsmack, and the singer for Godsmack's also a drummer, and they had this crazy drum off thing going on stage. It was incredible. Just this dueling drum solo.
Yeah, I've seen video of that. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was insane.
I guess for me, musically, I've been around music like all my life. My mom was in a choir in church and stuff. That's how I learned how to sing and everything. And then my dad was always into he got me, one of my first CDs was Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf, and I started really getting into like the operatic, like full voice singing and stuff like that. And then around like grade school or so is when I first heard like Enter Sandman by Metallica, Dragula by Rob Zombie, When Worlds Collide by Powerman 5000 and a lot of stuff like that that really got me into metal. And like, and then as far as like singing as goes, I also was like really big into like the B-52s and a lot of the like new wave kind of 80s stuff where people were doing a lot of different stuff with like full voice singing. You got a lot of people like, you know, B-52s, you got like Typo Negative with like really like full voice, like open vocals and stuff that's like people really enunciating hard and like really pushing the sounds as much as they can. And yeah, it's then I've picked up a lot of other instruments, but yeah, this one I just do the singing in this band, so I've talked about my vocal influences, I guess.
Cool. Very, very cool. Okay, well now, okay, where do we go? Along those lines, we'll do this one because this one is fun. What was the first CD or album that you purchased with your own money?
I still this one. I remember I was debating over, like, I think I said it was either like a Frank Sinatra CD or the Scorpions or maybe Little River Band. Actually, now that I think about it, I was way into them back during the time when I was, you know, buying my first CD, so that could have been a possibility too.
For me, it was Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I still think mine is probably infected by Papa Roach. They were all over MTV when I was still living in Prague at the time. So I was like, all right, I heard them. Let's pick up the CD and see where it goes from here.
Yeah, mine was the Godsmack CD I got at that concert.
Well, with me, my first albums that I ever like owned that were like, well, my dad got me Outkast, the compilation album and the Eminem show back in like 6th grade. But the first album that I ever actually owned that I purchased with my own money was Demon Days by Gorillaz.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's get into it. How did Volcano Diving, what is the genesis? How did it become what it is?
So yeah, that's one for like Ian and Matt and Eric.
Yeah, we can, yeah, whoever, and then we'll just go along the line, and as members add, we'll, you know, do all that, and yeah.
Yeah, it definitely started with Ian and Matt, but I found them on Craigslist looking for a drummer. So we met up and jammed out. I can't remember the name of the studio, but it's over in Minneapolis somewhere.
See, the problem is he saw an ad asking to beat off with 2 other dudes, and then, well, there was a bit of miscommunication.
As there always is, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, they didn't murder me, so
That's always good.
it was a match.
I have 2 kidneys. I'm doing fine.
And me and Matt started. We met as in a cover band called Salt Steak, and so we played our first show, started jamming out, started hanging out more. We started wanting more originals. We started introducing it into the band, but eventually what happened is our drummer got into an accident, somehow fell asleep riding a bike.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
But he
It was
said
a bicycle, right?
find a replacement, so I put the ad up on Craigslist, found Eric, and I was like, all right, we're jamming. The moment Eric was about to do his first audition or trial for the band, the drummer came back, like, hey, I'm back. And the rest of the band, like, oh, welcome back. And I'm like, all right, well, let's say this in another direction.
Yeah, they still covers and stuff, and I was in cover bands for a while at the time. I was sick of playing covers, I want to do originals. So, all right, we'll hang out with Eric and write stuff.
Yeah, we started playing on some of the songs that Matt had originally written. And we kind of went from there, just started jamming out, and to eventually where it is today.
Yeah, and then I ended up joining the band probably around like, what was it, 2014, 2015? It was one of those 2 years.
Yeah, 2014 to 2015. We've been looking for a singer for a long time, and we went through 2 singers who both wrote a song about stalking their ex-girlfriends. And I was like, hey, let's not do that.
We gave them very specific homework. Bring a funny song in. And both of them didn't follow the instructions.
That sounds very fun.
Like, I see what you want me to do, but I'm gonna do this.
Exactly.
And yeah, I was in at the time I was in an acoustic like comedy project that I've been on the back burner forever, probably will be forever, but I was doing a show at the Terminal Bar, and I was playing a show with Cat Jackson as well, and Ian was playing bass with Cat Jackson. And he hits me up after the set. I think, what was it? You talked to me like down on the floor after I got off stage or something like that. And he was asking if I'd be interested in like joining like a comedy, like metal outfit. And I said, yeah, I think we met up like that weekend at your house or something. It was like some like really short amount of time before we got started. And it was like all she wrote from there.
Yeah, I found you joined like, your first show with us was probably a month, 2 months after you had the first rehearsal, or after I met you at the acoustic show.
Yeah, shit, that was like fucking 7 years ago this year.
Yeah.
And you only had lyrics written for 3 of the songs, so we were like playing like instrumentally for years at that point. So we were kind of used to it, and then they were like, "All right, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about the songs you don't have written. You can step down." Then you improv the rest of the set. We're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, those sets were rough. I don't like watching those sets. I was really drunk and just bullshitting most of the time.
John, I can't remember his last name, but he filmed our very first set with you. It was the first time we were actually ever filmed.
Oh yeah, that was damn it. I can't remember his last name. Fuck, I feel like an asshole now. John Moyer, I believe his name was. I think that was it. But yeah, I know he was doing that for a while. He was filming band sets and stuff, especially around those years between like 2014 and 2016. And yeah, I know he filmed our set, and I went back and watched it. I'm like, well, I'm never watching this again. Every once in a while, I'll sit there and watch it just to make myself cringe.
Yeah, I think we all have those sets.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think the first time I saw you guys was at the Halloween show at the Terminal.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Which is the first time I saw Hex Vortices actually, and I walked into that show, and because I knew both, because Don Inferno and Blood War are at that show. I believe that was a lineup. Yeah,
that night.
Yeah, because you did 2 sets, Juan did 2 sets, and I was like, wow, that's when the pieces started to come together of the cross pollination of the scene. And
yeah, that was
like,
a weird show.
Yeah, well, and then so I knew those 2 bands, so I'm like, okay, watch them. And then Hex comes on stage, and they're dressed as garden gnomes, and I'm like, okay, this is different. And then I watch you guys. I mean, it was a good show, but so that was my introduction to you guys.
Yeah, and I know I had what was it? I had the corpse paint or something on for Down Inferno, and then I washed that off and just put a bunch of blood on my face for volcano diving.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night. That was a very fun night.
Yeah, I was in a weird headspace that night, but at the same time, it was a really fun time. I was going through a lot of stuff personally, but yeah, it was a fun show. I kind of miss playing the Terminal. I miss playing like little dive bars like that. There's something about that I just love. It's so much less pressure than like the large venues and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That was the night we had you screaming from the bathroom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we definitely like to scream at each other from the bathroom to the stage at the Terminal.
Well, it's right there. I mean, how can you not?
Well, plus, we're all setting up, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna take a piss, and then I'm out, and I'm in the back, and they're like, Brad, like, what? It was, I miss that shit a lot. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say. Lost my train of thought completely.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing that I remember about that is I was talking to Juan after either Downset or Blood War set, and he was like, yeah, stick around, to watch Volcano Diving. That's Brad's like comedy band. And I was like intrigued. I was like, okay, I see. And there you go.
Yeah, my voice was shot after that night. Like I could barely even talk at the end of the night.
Well, stands to reason.
Oh yeah. Kind of reminds me of my Wasco's times where I have to play like 2-3 sets at once.
we'll get into that later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We don't want to jump around too much.
Yeah. So obviously, the humor is a big part of this band, and was from the get go, and obviously everybody's on board with that, and it's developed. I mean, because listening to the full length album, which is awesome.
Thank you.
The fact that you start out with the song about a blumpkin and end with the song about burning when I pee, that bookends the album so beautifully. It really does.
Yeah, those ones were a lot of fun to write. I remember writing Burns When I Pee in the shower, actually, because I was just like, I think we should do just like an old school, like Ramones kind of punk song, just like really rock simple, start with a driving bass line and just go into some simple like power chords and stuff. Just like something right out of the 80s, but then like throw in like my fucking like just nasty fat man vocals.
I think we wrote Whip like within an hour. You came in and said, "Hey, I have an idea for a song." You gave me the melody. I said, "Okay, let's find that." All right. And it's like, oh
yeah, it came together really well.
It's based off of personal experience.
Oh yeah. You gotta be careful. You gotta make sure don't be a fool, wrap your tool. I always use protection. That's why I have a 36 over by my bed.
Yeah.
Me and my lame jokes, I know.
Well, it's something. It's something.
But yeah, like, Water Beer and a Blumpkin, I remember when I was doing that one, I was trying to like I try and do like a slightly different vocal style for most of the songs in the album, or at least I try and keep it varied and stuff, so not all the songs sound the same. And that one, I was like, when I was listening to the part, I'm like, I could probably throw some like Rammstein like low vocals in here and just make it really ridiculous and dumb and just like some kind of like stupid guy song for my own special brand of stupidity.
But the style is almost like crooning, and that's what gets me.
Yeah. I started off like when I've been doing like impressions and I've been singing my whole life, and so I know how to do like some of the more like lounge singing kind of stuff, like Frank Sinatra kind of stuff. And I was like, if I take that and I push it a little harder and stuff, I can get a kind of a half-assed Till Lindemann kind of voice. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Why not?
And I don't think that act has ever been described in song, as far as I know. And it's never been described that viscerally. Like listening to your lyrics, you're there, you're in that bathroom, you're experiencing that.
Oh yeah, you gotta make sure when you close your eyes and listen to it, it's like I feel like I'm in a dirty fucking bathroom right now.
Yeah,
I feel gross. This is perfect.
You gotta like shower after listening.
Oh yeah, you gotta shower after that song.
Oh, for sure.
I actually had a couple of people, they listened to the song and think, I didn't know what a pumpkin is. I wish I didn't.
Oh, I love looking back at that video and seeing some of the hate comments from people like, this is fucking stupid. Like, yeah, I know, we wrote it to be stupid. That's the joke. Fucking yeah, it's a lot of fun. That song's a lot of fun to do.
I want to sell the play too.
Yeah.
Not exactly a song that'll end up getting you laid, but definitely an entertaining song.
And if it does wind up getting you laid, I'd probably question that person.
You gotta question their motivation.
Exactly. So in your years in this band, collectively, playing a lot of shows, like any good like show stories, anything interesting, anything funny, anything terrible?
We've got a few. Let me think. Well, there was the one time when we were going down to Iowa, and this one wasn't at a show, but this one was like, oh god, I just remember this night because we were down in Marshalltown, Iowa, and we were staying at, what was it, the American or something, and we were like taking care of like Ian's homestead and stuff, like taking care of like a piece of property out there. And so then we came back and we went to Applebee's and we're like, dude, let's get fucked up on dollar marks, dude. And so we just like, I must have gotten like 15 margaritas or something. And oh God, I just felt like absolute trash. And we got back into the hotel and this thing was just like a good 1 to 2 blocks long. And so it was all just one straight hallway. So we get in there and it's like, oh, this room's at the end of the hall. And I'm just drunk as fuck. And I'm just like in the hall looking all the way down going, I got to walk down that. And yeah, it was just like, oh, man, I don't even remember what happened after we got back to the room that night. Not to mention there's all the times at Wasco's too. And there's like, oh God, those were fun times.
And quick interjection, congratulations on 4 months sober.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, honestly, it's first month was rough. Since then, it's been pretty easy. Not too much difficulty. I'm enjoying my hop water, my hoppy refreshers. I've honestly been so much more productive and positive lately, and I've been able to get a lot more done.
Nice. So anything else spring to mind, Eric? Any of you guys?
Yeah, I've been thinking about our shows in St. Cloud at the Keller Bar.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, at some point we got the idea to do. It was like an Easter show because it was like around Easter, but we try and do like an April Fool's show every year. And I can't remember who it was, but we brought a bunch of peeps and shit.
Oh,
and
fuck,
somebody ate.
Oh no, I remember that. Oh my God,
Somebody ate so
was
many
Shaggy.
peeps,
That was Shaggy
they
that
threw
did
up
that.
everywhere.
Yeah, that was Shaggy. That was the same night he got roofied or something, didn't he?
Was that when he passed out in our room with an empty Fireball bottle?
Yeah, he had a bottle of Fireball
teeth?
just like hanging out of his mouth. Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy night.
And the silly
yeah,
string.
fucking,
The silly
I remember,
string's always great.
Well, I can't remember. Did you go to the Greek restaurant with us that one time where the dude ended up in the ambulance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
guy
crazy.
was.
So
That guy was
there's this,
throwing
like-
up everywhere, and his buddy tried to pick him up and basically like body slammed him into a table because he couldn't lift him.
yeah, and then they were like, okay, so a little pretense. There's this like Greek place just up the road from the Keller Bar, and so it's like we realized it's like open at like 3 a.m, and it was like 2:30. It's like I could go for some Greek food right now. So we go there, and the whole entire place is totally packed because all the clubs are emptying out, and this guy's sitting at the table, and he's clearly like blackout drunk. He is like not even there. He can't even speak English at this point, and while I'm standing in line there, because there's a long line, and this guy like starts puking all over the table, and people are grabbing like French fry little French fry cups and stuff,
Yeah.
so he can puke into the little French fry cups. And
He's
so
just
yeah, it
filling
doesn't work
boats.
at all. Like I finally get my Euro fries or whatever, and I get out there and I see them loading this guy onto an ambulance. I'm like, oh, so he was that drunk. Okay. It didn't help that there was already like 7 squad cars or something on that street because there's like always a ton of cops there.
Yeah, they bring him in from out of town for the weekend.
Oh yeah, they bust them in there for when it's the weekends in St. Cloud. Fuck. Fun times though.
Yeah, we've played St. Cloud a lot. We've gone there at least twice a year for a while. There's a lot of stories from there.
Oh yeah, how about that guy that came back to the room one time? The dude who was like, I swear to God, that dude was on blow or something because he kept following me around, and I think he was hitting on me. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that he kept following me around, and I went back up to the room, and I look behind me, this fucking dude's in the room, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, I grab a beer and I drink it and I leave the room, and he gets into an elevator, and then I just let the doors close on him and just go back to my room. I'm just like, I'm so not dealing with this today.
Was that the same guy that walked up to us after the set and said, "Hey, you guys are awesome. Do you want to buy any weed or crack?"
Yeah, it was
like
that
those
guy.
were his 2 options: was weed or crack.
Yeah, it really goes from a 2 to a 10 fast. St. Cloud.
There's one time anytime we play St. Cloud, we go the night beforehand and kind of have a little fun and then play the set the next day. But we went, there was a liquor store there, and we went to go buy a beer. We went to go buy some beer for the room, and we were having a good conversation with the guy. And at the end, I was like, "Oh, hey, we're playing a show in town." So I give the guy a business card. And so, okay, we put it down. And when Eric's friends came to town, we started handing out business cards to all his friends. And every time they went to the liquor store, they gave the guy another business card.
This poor guy,
Yeah.
he's just never going to forget the name Volcano Diving.
Yeah. So these guys got there an hour or so before I did. Then I got there and I went and did the same thing. And then my friends got there, and this guy had a parade over the course of like 3 hours. There was like 4 or 5 different groups of people going in there giving him business cards for our band. And he definitely wasn't excited about it the first time or the last time.
He's probably thought that we were some kind of like MLM, some pyramid scheme at this point.
Sound like we created that fan.
Just like, boy, I bet you hate working here in a liquor store. How would you like to go to shows and make no money? Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other like notable ones. I remember driving back from Green Bay that was interesting, mainly because of me, because my dumbass fell asleep.
Fun. I should have put the GPS on because I saw you doze, and I'm like, probably gonna be useful because you're eventually gonna just clock out on me. And sure enough, you just like keep. You gotta go straight on. I took your word on it.
Yeah, I was supposed to be a navigator on the way back, and we were driving back from Green Bay, and I was half asleep. I think I had some booze to drink on the way back too, and so like I doze off. I wake up. We're near Michigan because we've been driving so far north, and it's like I look at the GPS and I'm like, oh, we need to turn around. We were like, I think like maybe 5 miles north of Highway 8, so we were able to take that back. But it was just like, man, we almost made it to the UP. We almost decided to take a stop in Escanaba.
You're doubling the trip pretty much.
Yeah, you had messed up your knee at the show the night before, and you were.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah,
were slamming these tiki drinks at the Red Rocket restaurant. Because
which one?
We were at a Red Robin, but we kept singing it like a Red Rocket.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we were doing that, weren't we? Yeah, that show, I ended up really messing up my knee really bad because I was pretty drunk, and like you'll see that a lot of these stories start with I was drunk, and but so I try and do like a half turn and for like the very beginning of the set, and when I do that, like my right leg bent backwards, and then I put like a good like 270 pounds of right down onto it, and I almost dislocated my leg right there on the stage. And it's like, I don't know, I was pretty drunk, so I didn't feel it, but then the next morning I could not move my leg at all. It was completely stiff. It wouldn't move.
All right, you were limping around quite a bit.
That was a rough few days after that. And like, yeah, I still get aches and pains in my leg because, of course, I'm an idiot who doesn't go to hospitals. But yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of other times. There's been a lot of times, but I've been blackout for a good amount of them, so I can remember like bits and pieces here and there.
Well, okay, let's just dive in and to Wasco's, because Wasco's is legendary. So why don't we do like top 5 Wasco's moments?
Ooh, yeah, I've got some. Here, you guys go first though. I gotta think about them a little bit.
Well, every time we've gone to Wasco, someone's been delivered to the hospital or brought out by ambulance. But like every time it's kind of our players said have fun. I think one of my favorite moments I actually always think of is Brad was supposed to be on stage with his other band, Urination. So they're getting up the stage, and I see Brad's not there. Like, oh, okay, he might be back at his car. So I walked all the way to his car. Like, Brad, your band's going on stage. Well, tell the sound guy I'll be there in the morning.
Yeah, I don't even remember saying that, so I was definitely just totally out of it.
And I think one of my other ones was we were just closing up the weekend and we were hanging around the fire. Brad stole a bottle of Fireball from Randy, so we're just passing it around.
He told us that he gave it to you.
I mean, technically he did. He said that he wouldn't care if we took it.
We're sitting there passing it around, and all of a sudden I hear Matt say, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a piss." All of a sudden, okay.
I took 2 steps to the root and wiped out that dude's tent.
Oh yeah, that was, what was it, Trey? Yeah, you knocked out Trey's tent. Yeah, that was a good night.
I was very glad there was nobody in that tent.
Yeah, that would have been awkward.
Speaking of tents, that fucking tent hell with dicks drawn on it.
Oh, that was Matt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when we drew all the dicks on Matt's tent, that was a work of art. I'm gonna miss that tent. There were so many dicks of different sizes. We had a dicket fence, big old horse cocks on the side. It was like all different shapes and sizes.
He was talking to me about that the next day. He was on acid and he got into the tent.
Yeah, that'd be a trip. You wake up and you're just like, oh, there's dicks going all over.
There's just a bunch of floating dicks everywhere around you. That was a fun year, I won't lie. Yeah, one of my favorite times. Oh, there's a lot of times that I remember. I'd say one of my favorite times was actually because I've been going for about 7 years now. I've been going since 2014. And one time I really loved was I think it was 2015 or maybe 2014. We were there and there was a band called Solar Slaughter that was playing there. They're not around anymore. They're all in different bands now and everything. But so a couple members of Solar Slaughter walk up to me while I'm coming out of the bar and they hand me a Roman candle. I say, "What's this for?" They go, "We're gonna shoot it at Ray. Come on, let's do this." And I'm drunk. I'm like, "All right, that sounds like fun." And so like we run up there. "Hey, Ray!" He looks around. He just sees us with like 4 or 5 Roman candles all pointed at him. This guy just starts darting up the hill, like doing the best serpentine I've ever seen. And he didn't. I don't think he managed to get hit by one of them. And we were really we were aiming for him, or maybe we were just really drunk and our aim was terrible. And that was the same year he tried to put a bottle rocket in the strings of his guitar and tried to play it. Ended up burning his fingers really bad. Or there was the time that Golgotha's Fire, their fucking firework went off wrong and shot into the crowd.
I remember
That was a hell of a time.
And there were lots of fireworks off, and one went into the crowd, almost blew up. My brother blew up right next to me, Matt.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
I remember it came flying out and I'm just like, oh. I just put my arm up.
That was over at the bar, and I saw one firework go off, but I heard 2 cannons go off. I'm like, wait a second, where's the other one? And then I see the fucking fireworks just explode. I see one just come over the tops of the trees. It was in the crowd. I was like, wow, I'm glad I went to go get a beer.
We can't forget about Brad's puke piles. Not
Oh,
yours
yeah, the puke piles.
specifically,
We can't
Brad.
forget. Hey, it wasn't
But the
just
ones
me,
that
okay?
you
It was like once
caused
I
with your
puked there, it's like
Carolina
other
Reapers.
people. I was gonna say, like, yeah, after I puke somewhere, then everybody says, okay, that's the place to puke.
No, what I mean is you were responsible for plenty of Carolina
Oh,
Reaper
yeah, like,
fueled
dude
puke
from,
piles.
Yeah, like dude from Antichrist Social, he tried one of my Naga Vipers, I believe, or either that was a red ghost scorpion. And yeah, that knocked him out. I brought a whole bunch of peppers that year, and one guy tried one of the chocolate champions because he thought like, oh, I've had hot peppers, I can handle that. And
Pitmaster eat like a full. You just pop the fucking thing right in his mouth.
oh yeah, he just thought he could handle it, and he was wrong. Like it was.
Later or something, fucking puking and all that. It's just like, oh man, that's gotta burn like fuck. It's like throwing up lava.
It was kind of funny because there's always a lot of people at Wasco's who are trying to prove how macho they are and how much machismo they got. And so it's really funny to bring like super hot peppers and just take them down a notch.
I
Just like,
remember
oh,
watching
you
some
think you're
guy.
bad, huh? Well, then you eat this.
I remember some guy in the crowd had just bit one and he's sweating and crying and stuff, and some other guy was being a total prick and just walked up and was giving him shit. He's like, "Are you really crying because of a fucking pepper?" And he grabbed it from him and he ate the whole thing. And next thing I knew he was crying and puking and be like, what the fuck was that pepper, man? Like it really came back to bite him in the ass, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, I remember that was Dan the man. Yeah, he had the chocolate champion. That was a mistake. That's the hottest pepper I had. It was like I had Carolina Reapers and all that other stuff, but the chocolate champion I don't mess with, man. That thing is mean. Yeah, I've actually oh god, I still need to clean out my pepper plants. God, I've still got a whole bunch of them right here.
Oh no, I'd say I'd had a worse experience off the Reapers. Or more so the fucking ghost peppers for some reason. Shit in the next morning is the worst. You ever burst an ulcer? It's like that.
Oh yeah.
Good visual. Okay, yeah. Go with that. So what have you guys been doing since the lockdown? And shows are limited. How have you been occupying yourself? Practice, writing, recording, possibly, and
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
later
Pretty
in
much
life,
doing practicing and recording. Well, writing.
Yeah, we're trying to write as much as we can because I know we want to come out of this with a full album's worth of stuff.
oh yeah, for sure.
That way we can, spend the next year road testing it, making sure it's actually good and funny.
That's the ultimate test. It's like, are we actually funny? Usually the answer is no. According to all of our commenters.
They don't like
yeah, we got some of the fun ones on Facebook. They're kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, to first writing, rehearsing them, and then we're going to be recording in a couple months. Actually, next month. Yeah, so
Yeah,
anything else, just keep writing and have some stuff ready for when we can actually do shows again.
So yeah, we're gonna be going in. What is it, like April 26th or something?
Yeah, like,
That weekend, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be going into 1459 working with Mr. Marvelous.
Nice.
So that's gonna be a fun time. It's been a little while since we've recorded anything since last year or year before. I can't even remember anymore.
It all kinds of blends together.
It does. But yeah, ever since then, I haven't really gotten around to testing out new songs and stuff. So it'll be fun to record some new stuff.
Yeah. Always looking forward to it, man, because good stuff.
Oh yeah.
And just to see bands on stage again will be nice.
The only problem is now now unfortunately my gut not so big. There's not as much real estate for a Sharpie anymore.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
I'll make it work.
The dicks we drew weren't that big.
So then it's time for the face tattoos. I gotta get it all over here. Just get the Tyson. It'll just say volcano diving, but it'll be all decorative. Either that or it'll just be a bunch of dicks on my forehead. More likely that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I can't draw for shit, but I can draw a dick real easy.
So anything else going on? Anything else we should know about, and where can we find you and all that fun stuff?
We're all over social media and growing. We have both Facebook, Instagram. We have our website, volcanodiving.com, Bandcamp, Reverb.
Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Pornhub, Brazzers, Christian Mingle. We're on Farmers Only, so if you like baling hay and getting blumpkins, let us know.
Yeah, we really appeal with that Blumpkin song on farmers only. They love that.
You can go onto a field, pick rocks, and then come home and suck on these rocks.
So there you go.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So everybody, go get. I don't know if this one is still available. If it is, go get it. Go get this one for sure.
Listen, I think we still have some of the EPs available.
Yeah, you can buy all that on our website, along with some sweet shirts and stuff.
Yeah, and your
Make sure
shirts
to
are
go
awesome,
to
yeah.
make sure to go to www.bradisadouchebag.com. No, it's seriously, that'll bring you to it. So if anyone's ever thought I was a douchebag, then they'll know exactly how to get to our website.
And that is creative marketing if I've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I will let you go enjoy your day. I should probably get outside at some point because, we could be covered in snow next week. So you never know.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm enjoying it out here.
Yeah, but thank you guys. This has been a treat. And yeah, we'll see you around.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah,
Ryan.
thanks.
Good to talk
Thanks
to
for
you.
having us.
You too, man.
Down below. And if you catch your ankle right, well, you'll be surfing down a lava flow. Grab your heart and surf to the land of death. Let's all go volcano diving.